On December 2nd, 1859, radical abolitionist John Brown is hanged on charges of treason, murder, and insurrection. His crime? Leading a daring but doomed raid on the federal arsenal at Harper's Ferry, Virginia. Brown's goal was to spark a massive slave uprising, but the attack failed. Let's look at some of the events that led to John Brown's raid. Slavery was a deeply divisive issue in America, with the North and South holding fundamentally different views on the matter. The North, driven by a growing industrial economy, saw slavery as an outdated and immoral practice that needed to be abolished. The South, on the other hand, relied heavily on slavery to power its agrarian economy, and saw it as a necessary institution that needed to be protected. As tensions between North and South continued to grow, the debate over slavery became increasingly heated. In 1854, the Kansas-Nebraska Act reopened the issue of slavery in the Western Territories, adding fuel to the fire. Brown was at the forefront of the violence that erupted in what is dubbed Bleeding Kansas, as he and his sons murdered 5 slaveholders at Pottawatomie Creek. In 1859, Brown took an even more aggressive step with his plan to raid the federal armory at Harper's Ferry, Virginia, and use the weapons to launch a guerrilla war against the slaveholders of the South. He gathered a group of 21 men, including several former slaves, and set out on his mission. On the night of October 16th, they descended upon Harper's Ferry, taking control of the armory and several nearby buildings. But the raid didn't go as planned. Brown and his men were eventually captured by U.S. troops, led by future Confederate General Robert E. Lee. During his trial, Brown showed no remorse, and his execution makes him a martyr in the North. Brown's actions intensify the national debate over slavery, helping ignite the Civil War just 16 months after his death. Locations related to the event can be visited in what is now West Virginia. Here are other events that happened today in history. In 1804, the Pope crowns Napoleon Emperor at Notre Dame in Paris. In 1917, Russia agrees to exit World War I, surrendering 1 million square miles of territory. In 1942, in Chicago, Italian-born Enrico Fermi achieves the first nuclear chain reaction. In 1957, in a publicity stunt, an Oregon DJ is fired for playing Elvis's rendition of White Christmas. In 1970, U.S. President Richard Nixon creates the Environmental Protection Agency. In 1993, Colombian drug lord Pablo Escobar is killed months after escaping custody. In 2001, Enron files for bankruptcy, triggering a massive U.S. corporate scandal. And now, it's time for our Today in History quiz. When was the first ever SMS text message sent? 1990, 1992, 1994, or 1996? Think you know the answer? Drop your guesses in the comments below. Find out if you're right tomorrow on Today in History.